Hey everybody, it's your boy Big L PhD, Big L PhD. Thank you so much for checking out this particular podcast episode. Appreciate it. Getting a lot of love, a lot of new subscribers. Let me say welcome, thank you. And I really appreciate it. Keep the comments going. I will be in the comment section. Let's get the conversation going. Comments keep coming. Appreciate it. Much love, much love, much love. We're trying to make ourselves the best version of ourselves. All that. So I'm a little bit more dressed down today on my way to a basketball game. And on my way to a basketball game, and I want to talk about being socially awkward, right? Difficult conversation, right? When I started this channel, I was focused more on people on their academic journeys, right? And I really want to help individuals who are more academic, who are more critical thinkers, who a little bit more of the intelligentsia, to really kind of connect with people who are more socially astute. And I don't think that there needs to be a separation. I don't think just because you're educated means you got to be corny. Why? Who says that? Why is this a thing, right? You know, I don't think that at all. I think that we can have a little bit of confidence and swag and get our drip game on and all this kind of stuff, and still be able to do some differential equations and speak with the, with the elevated level of articulation and an expanded lexicon and all this kind of stuff, right? So let's have this conversation about being socially awkward. This is something that, in particular, ladies, particular in the black community, but I'm sure that this exists in all communities, really want. I think it's hyper. To be honest, I think it's hyper. There's a hyper influence in the black community about this idea that you got to have a certain level of swag. You can't be socially awkward. You can't be socially awkward. What does that mean? Well, I mean, it means in social situations that you feel out of place. There's a dance party, you don't want to dance, you want to sit at the table, stand on the wall. Back when I was in middle school, me and my boys used to call it wall chillers, right? Are you a wall chiller, right? You chilling on the wall, right? That's because, whatever. And sometimes, listen, to be in these social settings, you have to be able to fit into the certain level, certain degree, right? So the wall chiller thing, right, was because certain of us didn't have the rhythm or coordination to dance. I grew up in church. My mother didn't take us to dance. We didn't believe in that. So I didn't know how to do it. But you can achieve, just like in your academic, management, business world sense, you can achieve anything you put your mind to. So if you want to learn how to dance, take some dance lessons, hip-hop dance lessons, salsa, merengue, whatever. Practice, as Allen Iverson once famously said. Practice. You don't have to be socially awkward. I've talked about before that you can be in a place, sometimes your shyness, bashfulness, social awkwardness comes from a place of where you were not fed the proper social cues as a kid. Parents didn't take you to places. They didn't talk to you. Didn't know how to talk to girls. You were so busy in the books or comic books or video games or piano lessons that you didn't have time to do the other social things that would make you more socially adept. And so therefore in adulthood, I'm talking post 18, you are insecure about your ability to dance, to talk to ladies, and by the way, this goes both ways. I mean, but I think that socially awkward really is a male thing. I have not heard of too many men disqualifying ladies from being potential mates because she was socially awkward. I've not heard too many men disqualifying ladies because they were socially awkward. Now, yes, they want to have fun with them, with the more outgoing, quote unquote, Shaniqua Bonquisha, Sexy Red Sukihana types. They'll have fun with them, but very rarely are they going to get wiped up. It's particularly by a middle to upper class person who's got something going on. You're not bringing somebody with a tattoo. Let's be honest. You're not bringing somebody with a tattoo on their neck to the mayor's ball. You know, again, I was in the police department. We had mayor's balls and, you know, election balls and galas and all this other stuff we had to go to. You're not bringing a woman that looks like that there, right? And the same thing that I think that the ladies want. They want a man. This is the dichotomy, because the woman who's in this upper level echelon, she wants a man who's a thug in the streets, but knows how to put on a suit and can carry himself and have a conversation with the man. Okay. But so here's the dichotomy of what the ladies want. So I'm telling you, in order not to be socially awkward, you got to put yourself in social situations. Talked about before about being able to go to different places and just strike up conversations. Go to a ball game, go to a park, go to a museum, go to a fair, a festival, go to a comedy show. Go to these different places. Number one, get out the house and go to these places. I told you right now, I'm on my way to a basketball game. I'm not dressed up, and I don't have on my Sunday best or suit. I don't have on, business casual attire, right? So be able to dress down sometimes, right? Be able to thug it out sometimes, and relax. You know, be able to relax. Go to these different types of events. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it, right? So to the social awkward conversation, it's going to take confidence, it's going to take time, it's going to take practice. It's going to take putting yourself in situations that you feel uncomfortable. First time you started going to school, you were uncomfortable, but then you got into your groove. Same thing has to happen. You have to go to these events, you have to go to these things, go to the movies, go to festivals, concerts, etc., like I explained before, and you have to put yourself in a situation to force yourself to speak to people. Go to a dance, take some dance classes, go to some cooking classes, practice these types of things, and put yourself in situations where you're forced to interact with other people. If you want to stop being a wall chiller when you go to a dance party, whatever, you have to practice. Listen, I am not the most coordinated person. I'm talking to people because I'm talking from experience. I'm not the most coordinated of people, right? Anytime I'm going to go to a dance, or maybe a wedding, or you're going to be doing an electric slide and all that, I got to practice. I put on YouTube and I practice because I have to work on it. It's not natural. It's not natural for me. But I recognize my I don't want to say call them downfalls, but I recognize my limitations and I work on them. So if you don't want to be socially awkward, if you've been shot down by ladies for being socially awkward, then you have to practice and you have to work on it, put yourself in situations where we work on it. The other thing about, again, this isn't just about attracting mates, right? This is including the business world. I have been interviewed. I have been interviewed, right? So to be a adjunct professor, to be a police officer, I've been to be a police officer, to go up the ranks. I've been interviewed, and I sat on the panels, right? And so one of the things that people are looking for, this is from all interviewers. Here's an interviewing tip, right? One of the things that they're all looking for is not only your skill set, can you do the job from a skillful level, but can you interact with the public, right? So we have people, we're getting away from police officers who only go by the book, right? You by the book, right? The zero tolerance type of policing. You are driving 2 miles over the speed limit. Here's your ticket. You got to be able to interact with people. You got to be able to talk to people. You got to have these soft skills, right? You got to have them. And if you don't have them, then it's going to be an issue and it's going to be a problem. And you may get passed over, even though you can look at your resume and say, man, I got all these qualifications And how come I'm not getting a call back? How come, I did the interview, and how come this, that, and the other? Well, you got to look at your social presentation, your social skills. How did you dress? How did you interact? Were you laughing, joking, smiling? Were you having a good time? Were you impressing them and telling them what qualities you could bring to that organization that you're applying to or for or whatever? Same thing that the ladies are doing, right? They're taking an inventory. So you might look good on paper. You might be tall, dark, handsome. You might make a certain amount of money. You might be, make semi-good shape. But if you don't have that personality that many are looking for, like it or hate it, it is what it is, right? I'm trying to get you to adapt to the way that things are. Now, if you want to pretend like they're not that way and you don't want to adapt, then this video isn't for you. And my advice is not for you. But if you recognize that you are limited from your social standings, right? You don't get invited to parties. You don't get invited to weddings. Nobody wants to take you out after work for happy hour. You get excluded from all this type of stuff. Even though you're doing a great job on the job, it's your social awkwardness that is causing you to be limited in this. And you got to be able to deal with that. You got to be able to deal with that. You got to have an honest conversation with yourself and say, I need to change this. And so this is going to take work, right? This is a 10, 15-minute video. You're not going to get there from here, but I'm trying to get you to understand some of the steps you need to take. Number one, to recognize it. And number two, to work on it, to take the steps to work on it. And if you really need help, ask for help. From a life coach, from a dance coach, from a young lady friend, practice one of your sisters or cousins or lady friends and take her out to dinner and just have a conversation. See how the conversation, and ask her to critique you about how the conversation went. Was I dry? Was I boring? Did I keep the conversation moving? Would you go on a second date with me? These are real, actual conversations that people need to have with each other, or in order to get this thing going. So this is a conversation that I think that a lot of people who are upwardly mobile really only rely, that needs to be had. It's a conversation that needs to be had because people have been so used to just relying on the fact that I've got this money game or I'm in the social strata in life, and therefore I deserve a beautiful woman on my arm who's fit, feminine, friendly, who's my intellectual and social equal. Well, understand that woman is looking for something too, and would she rather have you than somebody else, right? There was a reason that the man was called Prince Charming, right? Because not only did he have the acumen of not only did Prince Charming have the social status of being a prince, but he was also charming. So you got to figure out the way to be both. You got to figure out the way to be both. So I hope I had said something today that is going to spark something in you to make you perk up, think, and all that. So let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Hit me back in the comment section. I got to find a place to park. Until next time, much love and peace.